are now on live to the premiere edition of the Mentors Lounge with our special guest, who is no other person than Mr. Babatope Lewis, the co-founder of Olumo Foods and Olumo Continental Stores. Welcome on board, Mr. Babatope Lewis.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Right. It's a really great thing to kickstart this initiative. Now, a little background about Mentors Lounge. Mentors Lounge is something that was inspired by the need to democratize success, to give people, young, middle-aged, even those who are advancing age, the opportunity to be able to hear the backstory, right, of people, personalities from different walks of life, whether in business, in career, in politics, in ministry, in any dimension that anybody wants to run with, to be able to hear from them, right, how they are able to navigate it through dint of hard work, the strategies that they employed, and of course, grace of God there. So that is all what Mentors Lounge is all about. And it's a really great honor to have you here with us today. So to keep the ball rolling, we want to meet you. Right, who is Mr. Babatope Lewis? What's your background? Let us hear from you. Even though you are my very own brother, but there's a lot to learn from you. So let's hit the ball rolling. Over to you, Mr. Tope.
Like I said, Babatope Lewis, married to my beautiful wife, got 3 lovely daughters. I'm a geologist by profession, and I've been in business for close to 10 years now. The anchorman for the Mentors Lounge, as rightly said, I'm the co-founder of Olumo Continental Foods, which is a chain of retail stores in the UK. And yeah, co-founder of Olumo Foods, which is an online e-commerce platform where you can shop your African and continental groceries. And it's be delivered to you wherever you are in the UK in 24 hours. And we deliver to parts of Europe as well. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Awesome. Okay. It's not in a nutshell, because there's something behind that nutshell. There's something behind that nutshell.
There's a lot behind it.
There's a lot behind that nutshell. That's what we want to see. What people see is that, okay, Olumo Food just opened a store. Oh, Olumo Food just done this one. How did Olumo Food start? What's the story behind Olumo Foods?
Interesting. Olumo Food started 8 years ago when my wife and I were jobless. And we saved up a little bit of money to go for a time out in Glasgow. And while we were going, we said, when we get to Glasgow, because we got to self-catering, which was quite cheap then because I couldn't afford the hotel. So we went there just to have a time out. And when we got planned that when we get there and maybe order online to get some food groceries so that we can cook whatever we want while we were in Glasgow. And we got there, we searched online, searched everywhere. Nobody was there to fulfill that need at that time. And the ones that we got, they were down in London, and they said we have to come to the store to pick up, or they only deliver within their locality, not nationally. And this vision to start Olumo Foods has always been there, you know. I just felt, well, it's right about time we get something started. You know, I had plenty of time. Like I said, I was jobless. My wife was jobless. We didn't have any job. So
Hmm.
we got back home, and on that night, I told her, you just do me a favor. She's quite good with designs, even though she's an accountant.
Hmm.
She designed the Olumo Foods original logo, and I laid my hands on the for the first time to design the website. I used one of the website platforms to design the website, an e-commerce website, and we put them together, put the logo, put it to and it kind of makes sense in our eyes. And yeah, we put it out there for, and we had the long wait for about 6 months before we got the first sale on that website. It was like we won a jackpot because, the first order was £45, but it was like, whoa, I was so excited. I was over the moon. My wife was so excited that, somebody could actually notice this rubbish that we've done and decide to shop on it, that's how it started.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, there's something that I am pondering over. Now, from your account of how you started, it was like there was something that was a pain for you, something that was a challenge for you, was what prompted or caused you to go and do this.
Yeah.
So something that was like a burden was what now became what we know of today. You took it upon yourself to go ahead and solve that burden.
Yeah.
And you now made it an enterprise. Is this like the norm? Is this how it's supposed to be?
I think there's more to that. It's very important that we have a vision of what we want to do. But even though I have the vision that one day I would like to have a food company, my mindset at that time was to get it started when I have everything. When I had everything, probably made some money and I want to invest into my business. But as fate will have it, I didn't have anything. But the vision still remains the same. And I knew I had to work towards making that vision a reality. So when I saw the opportunity of what I wanted to do, I had to connect and give it a go. And that's how Olumo Food started.
So the next question is this. How long have you had the vision before this opportunity to now say, okay, wife, design this logo, okay, I'll run this thing this night? How long has this vision been? And what will you say made it to be the right day to, you say you designed it from that evening and by morning it was ready. What made that day different? Was there something that like quickened you, or there must be something that, so 2 questions. How long has the vision been? What made that day that you dig that side? What actually made it the day?
Yeah, thanks for that. The vision has been for over 25 years. As interesting as it is, you're my brother and you knew how we grew up, and granddad that always tells you to write down stuff that you plan to do later in life, which we saw him do in his lifetime when he was around. And I can recall that I went to Nigeria about 4 years ago. I actually went home and I saw one of the books. And the second thing on that book there that I wrote there was to start a food company abroad. So, you know, I showed my wife, and it has always been there, you know, crazy things and crazy ideas that flew through the head when we were much younger. But it was interesting that I saw that, and that when I came back to the UK, I was like, you know, so this thing has always been there. So but this particular night, 8 years ago, when we designed the website and the logo, I was just fire at my belly that night. I had so many things on my head, and I was not going to allow the night pass. I wanted to put it down as it is in my head, because I'm trying to grow a brand, do a business. So I poured out everything inside of me. I failed, I made mistakes, but I was like, whatever it is, I'm going to crack this by daybreak. And it's just part of me. As you know, when I'm determined to get something done, I'm not going to stop.
Okay. Now, he's been there for about 25 years. And on this particular day, he just saw the nudge that it's now time to run this thing. And you said that it took you 6 months before the first sale.
Yes.
What kept you going? Somebody invested into something, and it looks as if there is no result until the first sale came 6 months after. I heard story of the founder of DMT Toilets, the late Gaddafi, and he said that after setting up the company, he didn't make his first sale until after 4 years. So there is the question I'm asking you now: what kept you going?
My belief in my vision.
The belief in the vision.
Yes.
It was crystal clear that this was what you wanted to do.
Yes.
So what were you doing during those times that you were waiting?
I love entertainment. While I was working, it's just my passion to hold on to the camera. You know, I remember years ago, back in Nigeria, we started the first like digitalizing what's like Facebook now, you know, and this is one of the things about having opportunities and being in the right place at the right time. You know, you can get anything started, but even at then, you know, I recall that you and I were involved in digitalizing like Facebook for private schools in Nigeria, and we did a very successful one, you know, converting what they call the yearbook into the digital book, where we record them and they can see themselves years later, how they were then, the kind of visions. I want to be an engineer, I want to be a pharmacist and all that. So I've always loved playing with the camera. And, you know, while I was working on my vision, I was taking pictures, covering pictures for small weddings, you know, events here and there, meetings, church functions. I was part of, you know, my church technical team. Just love taking pictures and videos and all the rest of it. And that kept me going, you know. Some days you make £30, some days £50. Got a family to feed. And yeah, the man has to do what he has to do. Even though you're working on your vision, you still have to get things done, you know. Survive.
So basically what you're saying now is that while you were, your eyes was, you feast your gaze on the vision, right? You got yourself busy with other things that your hand could handle.
Yeah.
So were there some of those skills that you had to learn quickly because you had to do something? Or have you always had the skill to make videos? I mean, how did you navigate that terrain while you were still waiting?
I think I didn't have to learn anything. When I think about anything I want to do, I have this belief in myself that if I could think about it, then it can be done. So I teach myself to do it.
Mm.
I won't stop till I crack it. So just like if I was to give, at that time I asked someone that if I want to do a website, I have this idea, I want to do a website. And I can remember being paid about 2,500 then the logo was going to cost about 700 pounds or whatever. You know, I don't have that money, but I had the picture of what I wanted in my mind. So I had to play with my hands and try and get stuff done, you know, at that time, get it done. Years down the line, I had to contract that out to a professional to transform the website, to rebrand the logo, to rebrand everything about the company to what you're seeing today. And it's still undergoing, you know,
Transformation.
Continuous transformation, because you have to continually evolve. You have to continually take on board when I did the website myself, customers would call me, oh, I don't like having to pick up my orders again, you know, all from the scratch. Can't I just have an account that I can click and repeat my order and do all sorts of things? I said, oh God, this is just way beyond me. But as the business started getting on, we were able to afford to get somebody, a professional, to attend to all those queries. And we keep evolving, keep looking at breaking new grounds every now and then, you know.
So you say you are open to feedbacks, and you are taking the feedbacks and feeding it into the business.
For anybody in business, feedback is the breakfast of champions. Good or bad, I welcome feedback 24/7. I don't like anybody holding back. Tell me I'm doing nonsense, I will apologize for the nonsense I've done to you, but I'll take it on board so that when you see me again, you will see an improvement. Because again, the biggest room in the world is a room for improvement. So you have to.
The biggest room is a room for improvement.
Yeah. You know, you have to get to a point where you don't feel bad when, you know, if anybody says anything, apologize to them, because it takes a lot of trust for a customer to part with their money. And I value my customers all around the country. I don't take them, you know, I don't joke with them. They keep us in business. So no matter whatever the situation is, I like to know. And when they give me their feedback, I call my team, I discuss with them, because it might just mean that maybe that member of staff or that member of the team needs a bit of training, or, you know, I take it, I welcome it with both hands. And it's been what keeps us going.
Awesome. Now, the next question I want to ask is this. You have evolved. Recently, Olumo Foods opened, high street store that is as big as a regular Morrison or Asda or something like that. How did you achieve this transformation? What can you say to someone who is building, like developing? What will you advise to evolve? How did you navigate this?
Number one on the list, integrity of the business. Number two, be consistent. Number three, always show up. The list is endless, but we keep it to those three. If you keep those three within your business, integrity, consistency, and always show up.
Showing up.
Yeah, to work smartly. Don't ever feel comfortable or complacent, you know.
Don't be at ease.
No, I'm never at ease. You know that.
Yeah. Okay.
You know. So yeah, once you have those three, it's very, very important. You know, your integrity matters. Your customer must trust parting their money with you, and don't ever take them for granted.
So, how did you manage your value chain? That one is also critical. For your kind of business, you have a value chain of supplies, delivering. How did you negotiate all these things? Okay, let's start from the beginning. How are you doing the delivery at the beginning? How do you now evolve that you're using a brand as high as DHL for your deliveries today? How are you getting your supplies at the beginning? What did you leverage on? And how did you evolve to what you're having today? So, I mean, that part is very, very important to this session.
I've got some very good friends, business friends, personal friends that have always mentored me and showed me, linked me up, to how to get things done. I first of all started, like I said, we didn't have our first sale until 6 months. You imagine if I had any purchase and I couldn't sell anything for 6 months, it's going to be out of date or something. And that's a mega loss for someone that doesn't have anything. So the first model of Olumo Foods was more like an errand boy.
Okay.
You're busy, you can come on my website, select the things you want to get. I have negotiated with my local suppliers the things I have access to in their shop, and put a bit of margin and make something. So whenever I didn't have any store, I didn't have any warehouse, I didn't have anything. I had a few Indomie noodles in my kitchen, which I could take because it's got long dates, and we had it in the kitchen. We had it all around the house. If an order comes in for Indomie noodles, good. Box it, up it goes to the client or customer. But when it comes to other things, I had an agreement with some of my friends in business. They were quite big, and I had some very good Asian friends that were in the business long time. They had stores, and they work closely with me and make sure that whenever I need anything, I go and take it in the store. And they trusted me enough to pay them probably at the end of the month. So that's how my wife and I were running Olumo Foods at the beginning. And slowly it started growing, and they started linking me up to the big suppliers. So one day they had to bring like 2 pallets to my house, and everybody in the neighborhood was looking at what's this trailer doing? What's happening in there? And yeah, so then we moved into our warehouse from there. Then about 3 years ago, we started the chain of Olumo Continental stores.
Wow.
We're on the second one now.
This is interesting. One thing I can pick from this last conversation that I just said now is the power of leveraging on relationships.
Yeah, very, very important.
How long have you built these relationships that gave you the leverage to start? Because from what you said now, what happens is that you actually had friends who trusted you enough to release goods to you on credit, and you settle them at the end of the month. They were so kind enough to do that. When did you build this relationship?
I've always been, I had my vision, and when I met these people, I've always been buying from them. And when it got to a particular time, I had to come and tell them that, see, I've got an online store, but I don't have the purchasing power to, fulfill orders. And being their customer, I said, well, if you want to come and pick anything, I can give you at a reduced price so that you can put a bit of markup and all the rest of it just to support what you're trying to do. Even though that makes sense to them, like online store, like for Afro-Caribbean food, why online? You just open a store and I don't even have the money to open a store. So it was difficult. I can't deny that. It's not like it's just, it was difficult, but what just kept me going is that I just had a very strong belief in my vision that this is going to work.
So technically, we can say that, in secondary school, in economics, they say that the four is it variables of production or something? There is land, there is the raw material, the people, and everything. But what you actually had was human capital, not financial capital. I will say, because from what you say now, it means that you had the idea of launching this platform that will allow you to sell Afro-Caribbean foods online, but you do not have financial capital. When people say that it is money, when people say that you need money, and so you do not have the money. So what you had was human capital that had been built over the years.
Yeah.
So the human capital you had gave birth to the financial capital.
Yes.
That's a good one for especially young people. That we need to invest in relationships. Relationships will give back to the financial capital that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And
that's why, you ask for, what are the things that got it to where it is. It's very, very important that we have integrity.
Build integrity with people.
Yeah. I mean, along the line, I needed to raise some funds to get something done.
Yeah.
I was even not in this country, and
can you come again? You said you needed,
like I needed to raise funds to do some stuff within the business.
Yeah.
And I called someone that we built a relationship over the years, and he said, don't worry, I will get it sent to your account now. And he sent it into the account, and I said, I will refund you back X amount every month. It's an loan. I will return back to you every month X amount of money, and I plan to get this sorted within 10 months. And they said, no worry, just take your time. Whenever you're ready, put it there. But integrity. He needed funds along the line, I think about 2 or 3 months after the 10 months. So he now called me and he said, can he have some of that money? I said, I paid everything back into his account. He went to check his account. He said, wow. I said, whether you check or you don't check, I have given my word.
Mm.
There are instances that, you know, you might not be in the position to get that. It is important to communicate.
Mm.
I'm not able to do something this month. I will do it next month, or give me about 2 months because we're experiencing some challenges within the business. So, you know, coupled with the fact of COVID and all the rest of it. But, you know, try to maintain your integrity.
Mm.
And that's how you can build the trust over time. You know, if you're doing anything, people, because how you're going to do business, you're not going to be having creditors and what have you. You know, but as long as you mediate it well, manage it properly and all the rest of it, then you're good.
So now, at the level where you are now, how do you manage your value chain? Because now you have several suppliers from all over. How do you get the best deals? What informs your choice? And how do you ensure that when your customers now order stuff from everywhere, I mean, the whole of the UK, Europe, and the likes, how do you ensure that they get it? Because you have a tagline that says that, I mean, you will deliver their goods to them within 24 hours if they order before 12. So how have you been able to build this, ensuring that the supply chain is well maintained?
Yeah, I mean, I won't deny the fact that you even though, you know, you try your best at making sure that customers get things, there's still one time or the other where you might have a bit of challenge with, it could be roadworks, it could be accident, it could be ice, it could be snow, it could be anything, you know, that cause delay. But we've been able to secure a very good distribution chain partnership with one of the reputable companies that delivers our products to customers intact within 24 hours. And with the suppliers as well, we've over the years, we've built good relationships, you know, to make sure that we are able to, you know, manage our supplies and, you know, whatever is being distributed within the business. You know, we've been able to manage it properly to make sure that, you know, we're not delaying things, we're not in defaults with things and all the rest of it. It's not easy, you know, but it's something that, you know, like I said earlier, the vision keeps me going. I still have a lot of stuff that is still in the pipeline, but you know, you just keep going. You have a lot, as you get on, you have a lot to worry about. I have a lot to worry about my staffs, my team, you know.
Okay, now let's rewind a bit. What prepared you for this as a young boy? Family background? What are the things what prepared you for this?
My family background. You know, there are some things that by default in my house growing up, you just must know how to do it. My mom had a business that ran for 22 years, but you know, she just retired and just, you know, let it go. But it was a successful business, and myself and my elder brother, we were the first sales boys in the place. So when it comes to sales, that's where I got it from. You must know how to sell.
Yeah.
But the sales boy within the business, and
that was from 91.
That was from 1991. That's a long time ago. Even before then, my dad had poultry business. At a very young age, we had our own, my brother and I, we had our own like a cage barn for rearing the broiler chicken. And when they become mature, we take it to the market and sell to people. I just love selling. So doing that now, it doesn't really, it's part of my DNA to just sell. I can sell.
No sales, no revenue.
Just love selling.
Okay. Now, will you say you have mentors in your life? Are there mentors? Are there people who have shaped your framing?
Yes, I have virtual mentors. When I listen to them, as long as I can relate to them, I'll take them as my virtual mentors. I have some people I listen to. I have, some books that I read. I've invested in some books that I read. Sometimes I read a chapter over and over again, digest it. And each time I read it, I see different things. I see different insights. And part of my mentor is traveling. He's one of the biggest mentors around. Travel, you see something new.
Interesting.
New insights. And it's how good you can process that information and convert it to whatever works for you.
Interesting. So what is the average day of the co-founder of Olumo Foods? What's the average day like in Olumo Foods?
Extremely busy.
How many hours do you say you commit to Olumo Foods in a day?
I think I have I think I need to check that, but it's truth be told, if you get into doing business, a lot of people say they want it because they want freedom from 9 to 5. They want to be their own boss. But my bosses are my customers. They're the stakeholders. I need to keep them happy. And in doing that, it takes a lot of my time. So that's how I'll put it. They're the investors.
Awesome.
I value every bit to the last penny.
Okay. So now, maybe one or two more questions for you. Have you had bad business decisions?
All the time.
And how did you overcome the pain of a bad business decision? Or how did you go about it?
I've had so many.
The reason why I ask this question is because of anyone who will be watching this. They may feel that, I made a bad decision, I have lost this one, and they just resign and just leave it. How do you retreat after a bad decision or go back again and keep the grind going? How do you keep going? What will you advise?
I think my advice would be, one of the important things you want to have doing business is to make sure you're not scared to fail.
The fear factor must be removed.
Yeah. If it's, I don't look at it as a bad decision. All I just look at is how I'm going to convert that bad decision to favor me. So if I make a bad decision, it's an opportunity for me to learn. So, you make a bad decision, you learn from it, move on. Don't dwell on it. Let's move on. What made me to get to that point, even if I think I lost, if I could get that, I'll get it again, even more.
How have you managed negative criticism?
I embrace it.
You just embrace it.
There's a Yoruba proverb that says, Mawa Roja. When you go to the market, you don't look at the noise in the market. You go to the market to buy what you need to buy.
You face your business, mind your own business.
I'm in full control of what I want to see or what I want to absorb. And for the younger generation coming on, they get worried about a lot of things, social media, blah, blah, and all the rest of it. You know, I can imagine somebody saying stuff at me on social media, and it gets to my hearing. I'll probably look at it. It might mean that I've done something wrong. I might try and get in touch with them if it comes to my notice. Try and get in touch with them. You know, you get stuffs every now and then. You know, if it comes to my hearing, sometimes like a customer can get upset about maybe their order, and in the first instance, they didn't even get in touch with the company to find out why that was. They go straight and leave a negative review for you, where the whole world will see. When our IT team gets in touch and says, well, this is what is happening, yeah, I pick up the phone or send an email to them, they respond, I pick up the phone and address them. You know, talking about you not looking at things in a negative light. In the process of some years ago, I happened to work in a call center. And I was in a department where I was handling high-rate phone calls. And I so much embraced it because I knew it was business as usual. When I'm out of here, it doesn't really matter to me anything again. I don't have to get stressed about it. I'm just trying to solve people's problem. But high-rate calls, where people will swear at you, say all sorts of you, and you still have to try and calm them down and still sell to them. And I was hitting my targets. So now I have my own business. When such comes, I handle it.
So, will you say that there seems to be a way that God has put some life experiences in the path of somebody towards where you are heading? If you use it well, it will still come back to you in the front. Like this example you gave now, you had the opportunity of working in a place and you were a customer service person helping to resolve issues. Now you are able to master that, I will call it internship in resolving issues with customers. Now you are evolving that in your own business. What can you say to anybody listening to this, that they should be mindful of the life experiences that come their way? Because it's like the training camp for the bigger thing ahead.
Like I said earlier, whatever I find myself doing, I just love it. I don't, you know me very well. I just love it. If I'm holding the camera, I take the camera and try and get the best shots I can get.
Give it the best.
I give it the best. If I'm in a call center, I do what I have to do. Just, do my thing. I don't, sometimes you fall out with people, but you try and resolve things. You fall out, make up back again. But it's all part of the process.
It's all part of the process.
Yeah, it's all part of the process. You don't have to lose a sleep over that. You anything you find yourself doing, do it well. Do well. Put in your best.
Which brings me to this portion of the scripture that says that if you are faithful in the little that has been committed into your hands, greater be committed into you. So we can see in this process that what the way creation and world has been is that whatever you are handling now, the input that you put into it, the focus and the zeal that you put into it is what will either qualify or disqualify you for the higher level that is after it. So
Absolutely.
We are kind of the main factor that will determine the next level that we'll get to. So if we handle the current situation haphazardly or carelessly, it's like we will have lost an opportunity to move up higher. But when we handle it properly, then we tell the whole world, creation, God, everything, universe, that I'm ready for the next higher one. And the higher one will now come.
Absolutely. And again, just to what you said, within my business, I usually tell my team, from the customer that spent £1 to the customer that spent £100, yeah, we have our work ethic, and that must not be compromised at any point in time. Because sometimes you have a standard you want to be known for, but a member of staff might just decide to overlook certain things and do something in any way. If it comes to my knowledge, I address it immediately, because when you're building a brand, it's very, very important that that brand, once that brand has been built and they have integrity and they built over the years, they have a very good, relationship with customers. Customers can trust that when you order from them, guaranteed, then it becomes a point where it's not even the money now. Sometimes you might say, oh, my gari is $1.99 there, and the gari from Olumofus might be £2 or $2.99 or what have you. I would say, oh no, it's slightly expensive. Yeah. But if you get your gari there for $1.99 and you get your gari from Olumofus from $2.99, you might look at it that, oh, it's quite expensive. But when you look at what has been taken into getting that product to you, the time, the effort in packing, in the whole general stuff, you then look at it and say, well, there's a clear difference. So you must understand your product, you must understand your value. It's not just about, I just want to sell. You find, oh, everybody, you must understand your value. And that's why you see a product, maybe a designer that's got a name, sell a product. They put their label because they've been able to build that brand. They put their name on anything, it changes your perception, your knowledge, and everything about that stuff. If they call it £1,000, you have nothing to worry about. You might say, this laptop is made by a top brand, a top designer, and it's $1,000. There's a reason for it. When you look at Apple and Microsoft computers, Apple product might be over £1,000. The same laptop that will do the same thing, it make me check my emails, I can do my programming, I can do everything on. It's sold for 300 and something pounds. It becomes a choice. You know why you're going for that brand, because you know what it is, you know what they make for. You're already, it's a trusted brand. And that's what I think anyone going into business should start looking at, the integrity of building that brand for people to trust that brand. And it's a lot of hard work, but smart work at the same time.
Awesome. It has been a really explosive session of sharing. So to round up this session, what will be your final thoughts for anyone who wants to chart this course in any part of the world?
Don't be scared to fail. Don't be scared to fail. Your definition of success will change every now and then. When you get these missiles and the barrage of comments and everything, when you're trying to get it right, trying to find your path in the market, it's scary out there.
Don't be scared to fail. Fail quickly.
Stay focused. Stay focused.
Awesome. I want to thank you very much, Babatope, for taking this time out of your very busy schedule. I know that you had a long day today, and it's really an honor to have you as a premier guest on the Mentors Lounge. Thank you very much, and we want to wish Olumo Foods even greater heights all around the UK and beyond. So God bless you. Do have a wonderful time, and regards to the family.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay now. Cheers.
And click the like button.
Yeah. That's very, very important for updates, because Mentors Lounge is going to be bringing personalities that we will like look at and wondering how did they get here, and we'll be bringing them. So if you want to get notifications, please click on the like button and the notification, and you will surely be notified when our video comes up. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye for now.